It's your boy, Jeff Jones.
You know who it is. It's the one and only upset specialist, Thomas Boykin.
And our boy Mike Jones is not with us tonight. And this is 234 Sports Talk.
Let's
Let's talk
talk
about it.
about it. Let's get it.
Man, back in the lab, bro. Been a minute.
Yes,
Back in the
indeed.
lab. A lot of things been going on. But we
Yes,
know the
indeed.
main thing we here to talk about tonight
It's that
is
time,
Super
y'all.
Bowl.
It's that
Yes,
time,
sir.
y'all.
The ninth, my brother, is about to go down. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. These two teams are the last two teams standing. As we look at this, Mr. Boykin, this Super Bowl, this rematch from a couple years back,
Yeah.
who do you think is the favorite to win this game in your eyes? And I've heard that some people say the Eagles. Then I heard somebody say that the Chiefs. It's going back and forth. Well, as you look at these two teams, what do you think is going to happen come Sunday?
I think number one is going to come down to if Philly is disciplined enough, like Buffalo wasn't disciplined enough to run the football. Because Buffalo, your man was killing it. He was averaging about 10 yards of crack. Why they stopped giving him the ball, I don't know. But if it's me coaching and I'm getting 10 yards of crack, bruh, put on your oxygen mask. You get ready to run the ball a lot. I mean a lot, a lot. But in this game here, you would think statistically wise and on paper wise, you would think Philadelphia would dominate this game. You would think. But as we've seen in times past, in these situations, it's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes. It's hard. He's proven himself time and time again. Even when folks bet against him, he always finds a way. So this, in essence, is going to be a big test for Philly. Um, Give it to Kansas City. They were battle tested going in. They had Baltimore had them, Buffalo had them. So it's going to be it's still going to be a test for Kansas City. I think Philly's going to be a really difficult test for them. But I think in the end, my book, I've already learned the lesson. You got to show me you can beat Patrick Mahomes. You got to show me you can beat him. And right
I,
now, nobody's showing me they can beat him.
I agree with you on that, Mr. Boykin. I, I've I thought that, like I said, on paper, I feel like you feel. I feel like you feel rather. I feel like Philly on paper, besides the receiving core, I feel like Philly may be the best team. But at the same time, like you said, you gotta show me that you can beat Mr. Mahomes. And we look at the two quarterbacks, uh, definitely in my eyes, Mr. Mahomes is the better of the two. That's not to take anything away from Jalen Hurts. Jalen
Facts.
Hurts is a great quarterback, but Mahomes is a different kind of quarterback. What makes him so special in your eyes?
Crunch time. Crunch time makes him the most difficult quarterback to deal with. And he doesn't need a lot of time to carve you up. That's the big thing. If you leave Patrick Mahomes 50 seconds on the clock, he's going to find a way to get you. Especially if all he needs is a field goal to get you, he's going to find a way to get a field goal to get you. And with Butker kicking the way he's kicking, it's a wrap. I mean, because the dude has already showed you that their field goal kicker don't miss, especially not in crunch. He don't miss. So to me, Patrick is just one of them guys. He's another hate to say it, another Tom Brady, another Joe Montana, guys that can drive you down the field last second and get what they need. He's almost like the Jordan of football.
I totally agree. Now, the last time they met in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs pulled out a 38-35 victory over the Eagles. The Eagles, they had them. The Chiefs scored 17 points in the fourth quarter. Do you think that if the Eagles are able to get up on the Chiefs and jump up on them early, do you think that there'll be a repeat of this, or you think that they're gonna smell, blood in the water like a shark, and they're gonna go for the kill?
Like this game, like I said, this game is going to come down to Saquon Barkley for the Eagles. It's going to come down to Saquon Barkley running the football, point blank. If he can get good success running the football and keeping the ball out of Mahomes' hands and limiting possessions, they got a really good shot at beating Kansas City. If they don't, and he's not able to do anything on the ground, you might see a repeat of what happened 2 years ago. Which, by the way, I remember that game. I almost hit that prediction dead on the head with the score.
And you're right. And you're right.
I predicted a high-scoring game that game, and it turned out to be exactly that. But I think this one is going to be a little bit more of battle of defenses, because the other thing that people forget about is Kansas City's defense, although they don't, to me, they didn't stop the run that great, but they're good enough to bend, don't break. We'll see with Philly. I mean, they did a good job. They did a number on Mr. Daniels in Washington, which, they had a couple of self-inflicted wounds, but the Eagles wound up dominating them and put up when you put up 55 points in a playoff game, 9 times out of 10, you're done. So, yeah.
I was really shocked at that game, the Commander game. I really thought that there would be a better showing from the Commanders, and the Commanders, like you said, they really they dropped the ball, in that game. And when you turn over the ball like they did against the Philadelphia Eagles, especially at home, you're gonna dig a big hole real quick. And those guys
Yeah.
jumped on them real quick. Now Saquon Barkley, let's talk a little Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley ran for over 2,000 yards, 2,005 yards this season, and would have broke the record, I believe,
Oh, I
had they
believe he would
they
have.
allowed him to play
Oh,
that
yeah.
last game.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you think that he's going to be the difference maker this year, as far as the Eagles being able to get over the hump and
I
beating the Kansas City Chiefs?
I think he's going to be the biggest factor. So far, Hurts has shown me he can throw the ball okay, but I look for Kansas City to make Jalen Hurts beat him with his arm. They're going to try to. I think they're going to really try to limit what Saquon does. So they're going to have to rely on Jalen to. I think they're going to make Jalen throw the ball to beat him, or at least try to. And Jalen's got to show me he's got enough poise to put the ball where it's supposed to be. So it's Saquon's going to be a big key to this. How he responds to if they do shut him down and limit what he does, it's going to be a key in how they respond to that.
Now, when you look at these teams, I think that both of these teams have a pretty good offensive line. I think that, but you got some guys that are good pass rushers, and I think that they're going to be tested. They're going to be tested. Both quarterbacks are probably going to get a little pressure, I think, as the game goes on. And I feel like it's just a matter of whose O line can hold up the best, and which quarterback can really get in the rhythm. And of course, it
Absolutely.
comes down to the turnover. Who can win the game of turnovers?
And the last time they played, Kansas City won the game of turnovers. So they can't afford to turn the ball over. In my book, me personally, if it comes down to legs or the quarterback, Jalen Hurts has the better of the two legs. And he's more physical on the tail end of the run. So if it comes to that and Jalen's got to do it, Jalen can do it. We've seen Patrick Mahomes break key runs when he needs to break key runs. but we haven't seen Patrick Mahomes take a shot yet with gambling. So that's Philly. I'm sure if they get a chance to lay a hat on him, they're going to lay a hat on him. And we'll see how he responds after he gets hit. If he thinks about it or if he goes, okay, that's nothing, I'm going to keep doing it. We'll see.
I think this is going to be one of those games where Philly is just going to try to run the ball down their throat. I really
Yeah.
feel like that.
Yeah. I think it's going to be, this is what we're doing. Here it comes. Can you stop it?
And I think that's what it's going to have to take for these guys, because if you can win the time of possession and you can run the ball, of course, and you gotta score when you get in the red zone. If these guys can do that and they can dominate that O-line, man, and score some points and keep Mr. Mahomes off the field, I think that
Absolutely.
these guys got a real good shot at winning. But at the same time, I don't know when it comes to Mr. Mahomes, man. Any predictions on the
You,
score, Mr. Boykin?
I'm going to try to go like I did last year. I'm going to try to nail this thing down within a couple of points. This particular game, I still can see it. I still can see it semi high. I'm looking for like a 30-27.
In favor of who?
I'm looking 30-27 Kansas City.
30-27 Kansas City. Mr. Boykin, I think it's gonna be a little bit higher. And I'm gonna say 35. I think it's gonna be a repeat. 35-38
38. I can
Kansas
see
City.
that. I can see that.
35-38 Kansas City.
Reason I went 30-27, like you said, running game and time of possession. That's why I think 30-27.
Well, we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see
Oh yeah.
who's the last team standing
Oh
come
yeah.
Sunday, February 9th. 5:30. It's going down. New Orleans, Louisiana. Be there, be square.
You better
And we
believe
will
it.
be in front of the TV locked in, waiting to see who holds up that Vince Lombardi trophy.
With the
Will it
snacks
be
in
the Eagles?
hand. With the snacks in hand.
Yes, sir. Will it be the Chiefs? Mr. Boykin, upset specialist.
You already know it.
I'm shocked, my brother. A trade took place, man, that had a lot of people looking sideways. The
Absolutely.
LA Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks made a trade concerning AD, Anthony Davis, and Luka. Come on, man. What's your thoughts on this trade? And nobody knew, might I add, except the two GMs.
Yeah, that was kind of shocking that nobody knew that was coming, and it blew me away. When I found out about it, I was like, why would you do that? You trading away your defensive anchor for offense, and if you can't stop anybody, what good is bringing more firepower if you can't? If you score 100 points and you give up 105, what's the difference? None. You're going to take an L regardless of the fact. So this trade made absolutely no sense whatsoever. I think LA would have been better served holding on to AD. In my book, if I'm going to make this trade, I'd have more traded LeBron versus AD. Number one reason why a lot of people look at me sideways, I'm sure, but think about it in this scenario. If you're the Los Angeles Lakers and you're trying to build for the future and you want to keep your roster young, you're not going to build a team around LeBron James. You're not. It's just the way it is. The guy is 40 years old. He's probably knocking on one, maybe two more seasons, and he's done. Whereas you just brought in Luka Doncic, who's mid-20s. Cool, I'm good with that. Most of your roster, mid-20s, mid to late 20s. I'm good with that. AD fits perfectly with that. AD was 31. AD's 31. He fits perfect with this. And you still got your defensive anchor in the middle, and you still got a proven score on the outside. So what do you lose? What you lose is an older person that frees up more time to run your offense. But that's just me. Now you have to worry about two guys that like to hold the ball, dribble the ball out the shot clock, and then force you into a pressure shot when you don't need to. It's not going to be a good look for LA. To me, it's just not.
Looking at this, Mr. Boykin, to me, the only thing that makes sense of this, and everybody was shocked. I mean, when you look at Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, all of those guys, man, everybody talked about this. They were just shocked. Everybody was in awe at this trade. But the only thing to me when I'm looking at this that makes sense is if they're going to move LeBron James too. That's it. That's only. Do they have a plan to move LeBron too, and maybe bring somebody else in?
Maybe. From what I saw rumorville, there has been rumors of LeBron wanting to go to Golden State and play with Steph Curry and get out of LA. How true to the fact it is, I don't know. But if that were to happen, for 1 year, it would make Golden State a little relevant. Not completely, a little relevant. Because number one, and everybody knows this to be true, the NBA is a young man's game. It still truly is a young man's game. You still got to be able to. The modern day game today is about speed and shot selection. That's all this league is based on. If you can knock down a three on a consistent level, they're going to be looking at you because now this is what it's about. Defense is non-existent. It's all about scoring points.
Yeah, the league definitely has changed, and we old school, and we've seen the change. So it's different when and I'm not hating on the younger generation. It's just that they didn't see what we saw. So
No,
when we look at it and we see the change, we know what it used to be and what it is now. And love it or hate it. The newer generation, they love, the speed of the game, the jacking up the threes, the not, sitting around and trying to work the ball inside. They love, bigs that can shoot the three. We like guys that get down in the paint and get nasty and dirty with it. Now you don't see that today. You very rarely see that. Giannis reminds me of the old school guys because, Giannis is a physical player. Giannis gets in there and he gets ugly with it. He's not shooting. Well, I mean, he shoots threes, don't get me wrong, but Giannis would prefer to
why?
go inside and dunk on somebody.
I still don't understand why he decided to shoot threes. Clueless.
Yeah, a lot of times when I'm looking at Giannis, I'm like, Giannis, please don't do it. Please don't do it.
I don't get it, but I mean, there's only very few players now that play true low post basketball. The guy that's the most impactful playing low post ball right now is Joker.
Yes, sir.
Joker will wear you out in the box, I'm telling you. Not the fastest guy, not the most quickest guy, but the most effective guy.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, Mr. Boykin, I'm shocked, and there's February 6th trade deadline is approaching, and I'm sure it's been so quiet. I'm sure there's more to come. Jimmy
Oh
Butler's
yeah.
upset. Jimmy
Oh
Butler is
yeah.
looking to get up out of Miami. And I don't know I think the Heat just trying to wait around to the last minute to see what they can do. There's rumors that he might go out into the desert and play for the Phoenix Suns.
I just saw that. I just saw that in my in some of my newscasts. They're trying to. It looks like they're trying to finalize a deal to send him to Phoenix. What they're going to get in return, I don't know. But here's what I can tell you: if I'm Phoenix and I'm going to bring in Jimmy Butler, I'm losing Bradley Beal. I'm losing Bradley Beal one other player, and a draft pick. And a lot of people going, Bradley Beal. I'm like, dude, listen, Jimmy Butler's an upgrade from Bradley Beal. Big time.
I agree. No disrespect to Bradley Beal, because I think Bradley Beal is a good NBA player.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. He can play, but he's not Jimmy Butler. I'm just saying.
Definitely not.
He's not Jimmy Butler. He's not.
Well, I feel like something is brewing in the air, Mr. Boykin. I
Yeah,
feel
something's
like
coming. It's too quiet.
it's definitely too quiet. So something is going to happen, and something
Yeah.
is definitely going to happen, and we just have to play by ear.
Yes, sir.
The
Yes,
trade
sir.
deadline comes. The NBA trade deadline is quickly approaching and coming amongst us. Well, Mr. Boykin, I gotta say it, man. That Claressa Shields is one bad lady,
Hey, man.
man.
She's
Danielle Perkins, she got dealt with. Claressa Shields took her lunch money, man. What was your thoughts on this heavyweight fight
she
as we
said go.
saw her deal with this lady?
Oh, she told her go to sleep. Pretty much, she just said go to sleep. Hit you a couple of times. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Night night. She hit her with a really. She showed some ring savvy. I mean, if you look at the shot she hit her with, it was a clear duck and clean shot. I'm like, you can't go swinging haymakers at Claressa. She's too disciplined for that. So you gonna swing wild, she gonna make you pay for it, and she swung wild and she paid for it. It's what happens when you got a girl that's going out there talking, playing with her food, like you know what I'm going. When you play with your food, you get cooked.
That's what your guy did, Tyson Fury.
Play with
You
his
see what
food,
it got him.
got cooked. So I
Well,
mean, congrats to Claressa on another title defense. That's for sure. That's for sure.
okay, well, she becomes the first undisputed women's heavyweight champion.
What can you argue?
Now, when we look at Claressa Shields, I watched this fight, Mr. Boykin, and I was really impressed with her hand speed. She
Yeah,
dominated with her hand speed. Her footwork
yeah,
looked real good, man, and her
yeah,
power.
yeah.
You know, a lot of times when people go up and they fight bigger fighters, sometimes you don't really see that power there. But her power, she looked like she had more power than Perkins.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There's one shot that I would like to see her learn. And if she ever learns that shot, watch out. If she ever learns an uppercut, it's over. Because the inside game is going to flow right with it. So whenever they're trying to duck the overhands, because she throws good overhand rights and straight rights. If she catch him while she's ducking and come with that uppercut, it's night time. Early. Early. But I take nothing from her. She's got great hand speed. She's got great power. I would like to see her get a little more power in the left. Don't get me wrong, her left is still good, but I like to see her hit it where she can hit you with either hand and get you.
I'm kind of feeling like she kind of intimidates her opponents.
Another Mike
Kind of like
Tyson.
in the Mike Tyson way.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's almost like she kind of get in their head before the
yeah,
fight ever takes place. Because I don't know if you saw, I believe it was the weigh-in.
yeah. I saw that. That was crazy.
Yeah, she was
That
kind of
was
like, man,
crazy.
yeah, she
I'm
was
like,
just
wow.
telling, you too light. You look at your legs, like you too thin in the leg, too little. And I noticed something in that fight too. And I was kind of shocked that Stewart actually Perkins. I'm sorry, that Perkins actually was coming down to her level. You know, she was the taller fighter, and I was kind of shocked that she tried to come down to her level. I thought she would just kind of sit back and use her reach, her size, her height, you know,
Exactly.
and use her
Exactly.
jab.
Exactly.
But I guess when you fighting against the Claressa Shields, the hand speed, the footwork, it don't matter. You
Hey,
know,
that jab should have been a trip hammer.
she
Every
should
time
have
she
been
come in,
using it.
it'd been boop, boop.
Yeah,
And
because
then when she
I
try to
mean, my
weave it, then you
goodness,
throw the right. Bow.
she's
Yeah,
like
okay.
4 inches taller than her.
Oh yeah. That's what you're supposed to use that jab to set it up, set it up, set it up. Keep them off you. Set it up, set it up. But
And I gotta go there. I gotta go there. I gotta go. I just gotta go there. And I think
uh-oh,
you know where I'm going with this. Where
uh-oh.
do you think this puts her, Miss Claressa Shields? You think that uh this puts her above Layla Ali
Nah,
as the greatest women's fighter of all time?
nah, nah. Close, close. Especially with being the only one that's unified the titles. Close. But I still got to give the edge to Layla. Still got to give the edge to Layla. If you're going prime for prime, I still got to go Layla.
Yeah, I think if and you know I'm stirring up the pot here.
Yes,
I
sir.
think I think if Layla was still in the game, you know, now she's older. I think Layla would have handled that. I think Layla was a better fighter.
Better
Not taking anything
tactician.
away from Claressa, but man,
No, no,
Layla was different.
no. Layla is more of a tactician. She can knock you out, but she can tactically do it. She's not in a rush. She's more methodical with her approach, which is what Muhammad's processes methodically wear you down.
You know, they say that apple don't fall too far from the tree, bro.
And Muhammad was one of them cats, so I'm sure she got a lot of notes from Papa.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, Mr. Boykin, we've talked about it.
I got one more thing I got to say before we get out of here. And you know where I got to go because it's who I am. Shout out to them Ohio State Buckeyes.
You can't leave out your Buckeyes. I know you ain't gonna do
Shout
that.
out to my Ohio State Buckeyes.
Don't say that too loud. Mr. Boykin might hear that.
Shout out to my Buckeyes for getting the job done, winning the national championship. Now we got to work on this beat Michigan problem.
Yeah. Y'all got to work on that.
We got to work on this Michigan problem. So, and I'm sure you just heard my wife in the background talking about some Go Blue. Nah, bro.
Well, I know who got bragging rights in the Boykin household
Right now, yep,
right
indeed.
now. Even though y'all won the national championship,
Yeah, we got the chippy, but she still got bragging rights 4 years in a row.
sorry, brother.
That's it. That's it. Hey, what can you say? It makes my household fun when you got a house divided. Makes it fun. It gets interesting.
Yes, sir. All right, bro, man, it's been a real one. We talked about it. Until the next time, 234 Sports Talk, your boy Jeff Jones.
The upset specialist Thomas Boykin. You know who it is. You know how we roll.
Peace to our boy Mike Jones.
Absolutely. You know how we got to do it. We got to include our boy. Shout out to Mike Jones, always and forever. Who?
Mike
Mike Jones.
Jones. And we are out of here. Till the next time. Peace.
All right, y'all. Peace out.